Hi guys, this is Ocean, and today I'm going to be reviewing pretty much my first ever fountain pen. This is one of those beginner-friendly pens. This is the Pilot Kakuno, and Pilot is actually a very well-known brand. I just never knew that they made fountain pens. So this actually does have like a tiny smiley face on its nib right there, if you can see it. And that's basically to help people write, and if you can see that smiley face on the nib, that basically means you're writing with it the right way. So let's get into unboxing this. So included is the instructions, a single Pilot cartridge, the cap. It doesn't have a clip, as you can see, but it does have a roll stop, and the pen itself. The pen actually looks awesome. I got this in the clear version with the fine nib, and it actually looks amazing. So this is the nib, and this nib is actually friction fit, which means you can pull it out and swap it out with any other nib. So the nib is split into two parts. There's this metal part, and then there's this sort of plastic part. So the nib goes onto this, so the metal part goes onto this plastic part. It'll just snap. Or it actually goes on the top. So if you're trying to put it on the wrong way, it won't go on, so don't force it. It actually goes on pretty easily. And then it'll just go right back in. So that's it. That's all that's included with the pen itself. But my seller actually did give me two Con 40s and this one cool notepad with these 5 different colors of sticky notes. So that's pretty cool. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can buy it from this exact seller. So I don't have any bottled ink, but it does come with one cartridge, so that's pretty good. So let me just, I don't think you can very easily rip this packaging open, or I think there's like a thing at the top, so you can just, but it's probably easiest to just cut it, so there. So this is the cartridge. It's pre-filled with ink and it's way easier to use. And I will be installing it in just a second. So there are also converters, which are right here, and they're basically the same purpose as cartridges. It's just that they generally hold less ink. And you can use them with bottled ink, which means they're reusable. So I got 2 of them. So the way to install cartridge into any fountain pen is to unscrew the grip section from the body and then just take the cartridge and just push it in until you feel it puncture. So it's probably the best idea to not take the cartridge out once it's been punctured, because then it won't really end well for you or your perfectly white table. So once it's fully done, then in its full thing it'll look like this. So let me just remove this Pilot sticker. So luckily the sticker is actually very easy to remove. So as long as you're slow, then it should come off pretty easily. So I'll be throwing that off later. So now I am actually going to be installing the cartridge. So let's just unscrew this. So this cartridge does come pre-filled with ink. This is a Pilot Namiki cartridge, I think. So I guess all you have to do is actually just push it in until you feel it puncture. So let me just, there we go. So, and now let's just put it back. And now we have to wait a few minutes for the ink to fill the pen. So it's best to just keep the nib pointed down, because that helps the ink flow there. So I chose the clear body because that's easiest. Because the clear body means that you can actually like see through it and you can see how much ink is remaining. So that's actually pretty cool. It's a nice thing they added. So I'll be back in a bit when the ink has fully filled the pen. Alright, the ink has started to fill the pen, and now I can show you a bit of how to write. So I have some clear paper here. This is a lined paper, so let's see. This is actually a very smooth pen, minimal scratching, so that's good. Then let me see. So this is actually an awesome pen. I did only have to wait like less than a minute for the ink to fully fill the nib, so that's very handy. So the way fountain pens work is when you push it on the paper, the two tines will spread apart. So let me just get as close as I can, and you can see the two tines are actually spreading apart. So, but if you have a heavy hand, then it's best to use a broad nib, because if you apply too much pressure on the nib, then the two tines may spread apart too wide, and this may spring the nib, as they call it, and that means that it's pretty much irreversible. You'll have to buy a new nib. So, and if you're doing that on a Mont Blanc pen, well, the nib itself can cost a few $100s, so just be careful when you're using a really expensive fountain pen. So this is a nib made of, I think, silver or stainless steel. I don't really know. I'll have to check the website or something. But this is a really good pen. This is probably going to be my primary pen from now on, because very good pen. And then with the cap on, this is what it will look like. So, and when you're using a fountain pen, keep it facing down. But if you're not using it, always keep it facing up, like this and not like this, because then if you're keeping it facing like this, then all the ink will continue to flow down, and that means it can stay in your pocket. That's not good. So this tiny stub right here, as I've said earlier, I think it's a roll stop, and what that basically means is it already has a hexagonal body, I think, but this is just like something extra so that it won't roll like this, so it won't really roll off. So yeah, it's good. The cap itself, you can detach from anywhere, but there is like a grip section right here, so it's best to detach it from there for maximum safety for your fountain pen. So overall, my review of this pen would be a 10 out of 10, because this is an amazing pen. Both beginners and experts love it. I've read all the reviews on Amazon, Walmart, Target. I don't think Target sells it anymore, but maybe they do. So, yes, this is a very good pen. And from certain sellers, you do get extra stuff like these Con 40s. So let's just open one of them right now, because why not? So the way converters work is, basically what they do is, if you put it in here, then that allows you to use bottled ink. And basically what you're supposed to do is, it'll come, I think, like this, around the middle. So what you're supposed to do is First, you have to push it all the way down, or at least as far as it'll allow. And then you have to put it in the nib and just quickly twist this. There are a few types of converters, with this piston converter being the most common, but then there's also squeeze converters, which means you have to squeeze it to draw ink in. And then I think there are also like push converters, which means there's like a button which you have to push all the way down and then quickly release it. So yeah, there are a lot of different types of converters, but yeah, this is just a general Pilot Con 40. The Pilot Kakuno will take pretty much any Pilot cartridge out there, except for the Pilot Con 70, because it's the largest one. So yes, this is definitely an amazing pen. I'll be using it pretty much every day. This is an awesome pen. So that's it for now. I hope you guys liked the review, and I'm out.